All right, so in today's session, I want us to look at um, achieving sustainable effectiveness in the short term and long term. Achieving effectiveness in the short term and long term. Yesterday, I think I don't know if it's the mentorship group or in the March group or PPA, I said something and I said, somebody made a comment and I said, it is good or it is time to be intentionally consistent and to be consistently intentional. I made a comment like that. And one thing about the journey of success is the ability to be sustainably effective. I have said many times that success is not for people who are good on Monday and on Tuesday they are weak, and on Wednesday they are mediocres, on Thursdays they're just there. Then after like 2 weeks they do something that makes sense. In other words, I always say success is not for people who are motivated. Success is not for people who do things when they feel like doing it, when they are motivated to doing it. Success is for self-disciplined people. It's for people that consistently do the right thing when it is supposed to be done, whether they feel like doing it or not. That is it. So success now is somebody who let's say you wake up at 4 a.m. for 1 week, and then you now say for you to celebrate yourself, let you sleep and wake up at 10 a.m. tomorrow, like for the next 2 days. After you've been waking up for 1 week, is that not enough? Then you're not yet ready for success. It is for somebody who wakes up consistently at 4 a.m. for the next 10 years, 20 years. And you can only get to wake up after 4 a.m. Because maybe you're sick. Of course, I understand as human beings you get to be sick, or something beyond control happened, but not because you want to be a mediocre. You don't wake up late because of a mediocre decision. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So, and to attain sustainable effectiveness in the short term and in the long term, the law of realism comes in. The law of being real, the law of being realistic comes in. Leaders deal with the world as it is, not as they wished it will be. Entrepreneurs and professionals who will go places, who will build incredible careers, who will attain sustainable effectiveness in what they do, they are people who have mastered the art of dealing with the world as it is, not as they wish it will be. You know, there are many people who live by wishes. They deal with their life wishing, oh, I wish I had rich parents. Oh, I wish I was born in America. Oh, I wish, I wish, I wish. They keep wishing things, but they are not dealing with the reality of their lives. And that is why many people get to die with very beautiful dreams and wishes without the ability to attain any of those wishes or dreams. You see, your ability and willingness to be completely realistic in your life and work are among the most important qualities in the success journey. Your ability and willingness to be completely realistic. What does that mean? You are completely honest with the state of your life, with yourself, not with anybody else, with yourself. You're very honest that, okay, look, this is where I am right now in my career. This is where I am right now financially. This is where I am right now in my business. This is where I am right now in any important part of your life. is a very important quality, because you can only build a sustainable life, you can only build a sustainable career from the place of honesty and not from the place of telling lies to yourself or even to the people around you. I am sure when in secondary school, we had one guy, so about 2, 3 of them. One of them used to lie that the dad was an SDO in the Southwest. And he used to tell that lie. He used to tell that lie uh, 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 for almost 5 years, because we're in class from one together and all of that. So he used to tell the lies that his dad is an SDO and all of that. And unfortunately for him, in Lower State, the dad left the village with food to come and see him in school. And you know what this guy did? This guy rejected the father in front of us. Like, not his dad. You know how village dads always dress, right? Yes, they dress. You know, they don't have the best dresses. They're not they're not top clean, wearing sweet suits and all of that. They are not. That's their reality. So this father excitedly came to see this gentleman in high school. And this guy openly rejected the dad that is not his father. Just to please us, just to impress us, impress the girls, impress the people. Unfortunately for him, they came and they were looking for him, and we were all standing together and they were pointing at his dad. And he rejected the dad and went back to class, and the dad was seeing him like that. That was so sad. Luckily, we went there because we were close to a certain extent. We went there, took the food stuff, kept, and guess what? Later he came and took the food stuff to go and eat. They did not really have food. But the guy sometimes will tell lies on what they want helping him with food because he knew that when the dad would send money, would be fine. But we've never seen the money though. Right? That's a sad reality. And he kept on telling these lies and living a wishful thinking and all of that. And he would try to impress, to buy good shoes and look well, iron dresses. And, this guy that used to iron very straight trousers at school. But that was not his reality. He was faking it. And for some of us who we knew that we are not from very good families. We knew that, the only option and the things that you will handle in life. That is why it is often said that the measure of how realistic you are really is demonstrated by your willingness to deal straightforwardly with the truth of your life and business. The measure of how realistic you really are, the proof of how realistic you really are is demonstrated by your willingness to deal straightforwardly with the truth of your life and business. How realistic you are about the state of your finances, how realistic you are about the state of your career, the state of your family, the state of whatever is important to you is demonstrated by your willingness to deal straightforwardly with the truth of your life or business. You go head on. You realize, okay, this is my situation. So I need to take concrete actions and get it right so I can achieve sustainable success. Because you know that if you don't wake up, and deal with this situation squarely, tomorrow you will be in the same spot. That's why I always say that the most dangerous person, the most dangerous young person is the young person who has realized where he or she is coming from as regarding the poor family state and fully understands that if they don't take life into their own hands, nobody is coming to help them. That young person can achieve basically anything in the society because he or she has reached that place of self-awareness and understanding clearly their reality, and most importantly, they are determined to cause a change. They are so willing to cause a change in a straightforward manner. Peter F. Drucker refers to this quality of realism in a leader as intellectual honesty, where you are not proud of anything. You are humble enough to say you don't know and you need help. You are humble enough to say, look, this is my reality, and for me to sort it out and rise to the next level, I need to deal with this situation squarely. Jack Welch calls it the reality principle. And with this principle, as one of the best CEOs that ever existed, he approaches every problem or difficulty with the question, what is the reality? What is the reality? One way to conquer emotions when bad things happen to you, one way to conquer negative emotions when things are not going the way you desire, is to always ask this question: what is the reality? Let me give an example. Like, for example, let's say you lose money, 1 million francs, you lost 1 million francs. Let's say maybe you invested 1 million francs to a Ponzi scheme or to one investment scheme, and then it disappeared, it crashed and all of that. Now you have two options. Either you consistently cry about it, or you ask yourself, what is the reality? Okay, the reality is you have lost 1 million francs. The reality is you will not get it back. The reality is, how can you start making another money? But either you decide to start wishing and hoping and crying in tears that you have lost money for months and years, and you don't accept the reality that it is gone, and it is time for you to start rebuilding or making more money so you can be sustainable. Many people get to dwell in the pains, in the negativity, and in the hurt because they don't know how to attain that realistic state. The reality is this has happened. So how do we move forward from the place of reality? How do I start rebuilding my life from this reality so that I can be sustainable in the long term and also in the short term? And that is why it is important and always encourage that when anything happens to you, learn to concentrate on getting the facts. Be careful about your emotions. Your emotions can blur your ability to see the facts. When something goes wrong, average human beings get emotional, start crying, start blaming, start complaining, and all of that, which is normal. It happens to almost everybody. But the people that will attain sustainable effectiveness in whatever they do, they first of all concentrate on getting the facts, because facts don't lie. The more facts you gather, the better will be the picture of the reality that you can develop now so you can be sustainable in the short term and in the long term. So in whatever you're going through right now, what are the facts? Keep your emotions aside. What are the facts right now? What are the facts? Let us assume that you're going through financial challenges right now. Okay, yeah, so what are the facts? Ask questions. What is the reality right now? Get the facts, because from the facts, you can start building a sustainable future. From the facts, you can start rearranging and realigning with the reality so you can build from the place of knowledge, from the place of intentionality, and from the place of sustainability. See, anything you build from the place of emotions will not be sustainable. If you want to build from the place of sustainability, always make sure you're building from the place of facts, not from the place of emotions. That is why people have taken wrong decisions when they are angry, because they were building from the place of emotions. They did not build from the place of facts. The quality of your decisions as an entrepreneur, the quality of your decisions as a business person will be largely determined by the quality of the information on which the decisions are based. Never forget this. The quality of your decisions will never come from your emotions, never. As entrepreneurs, be careful about this. Many entrepreneurs have messed up their businesses because they have made business decisions, not from the place of realistic facts, but from the place of how they felt, or from the place of many opinions given by different people, and they crashed. But for an entrepreneur, the quality of your decisions will be largely determined by the quality of whatever state that you are. Guard your emotions, because they will deceive you, and they will enhance you to crash quickly, because you will take a decision out of pressure instead of facts, out of how you feel, out of anger, out of excitement instead of facts. So in whatever state you find yourself, always ask yourself, what is the reality? What are the facts? And that's why I will emphasize again, think on paper, not on with your head. Don't think inside your head only, think with a paper. No matter how technology will come, you see the ability of thinking with a paper, writing it down, or typing on a notepad or somewhere. Think by writing. It is going to help you. Be careful about this. I'm emphasizing on this because I've seen many young entrepreneurs crash out of business or enter into wrong business decisions or wrong business deals or many things because they were just excited about it. They were not realistic about the facts. Now, hear this. As an entrepreneur, as a professional, as a worker, whatever you do, as you gather the facts, as you are realistic about whatever decision you want to take, it is your responsibility to discipline yourself to remain objective, to avoid jumping into conclusions. Entrepreneurs don't jump into conclusions. Professionals do not jump into conclusions. You are not a gossiper. You are not a hearsay. People hear things and then boom, they start executing without facts, without analysis. That is wrong for entrepreneurs and professionals. If some of you check some of your worst decisions in your life and in your businesses, you realize that many of them came from the place of jumping into conclusions without analyzing facts. If you have gone through that, indicate in the chat box, let's see. If you can remember any disaster you have gone through, or any big challenge you have gone through because you heard without analyzing and you jumped and concluded. You see, many people. Even like business ideas, many of you, as it pops into your mind, boom, you start executing. No research, no analysis, no questions asked. And then when you launch a product, when you launch the service, it's not, you start realizing that nobody's even asking how much to buy it. How much is it? Because you jumped into it. Learn to discipline yourself to remain objective as you gather the facts. As an entrepreneur, always seek for the truth above all. And the only way you can seek for the truth above all is through gathering the facts. And that's why it is very important that you learn to stand back from the situation, step aside, step outside of the situation, and give yourself a more honest look, a more honest perspective that will enable you to make a better decision. What does that mean? It means if you are about to make a decision, avoid attaching yourself emotionally with that decision. Step aside, right? Step aside. Move aside and try to analyze that decision as an external person. Don't attach yourself to it. Ask yourself, okay, if this was another person, how would I advise this person to act? What would be my recommendations? And that is why many people, many successful people, keep a lot of experts around them, advisors around them, because these people help them to step outside a situation and make analysis from the place of objectivity, not from the place of their emotions. One of the marks of self-actualizing people, according to Abraham Maslow, is that they are extremely honest and objective about themselves. They have no illusions about themselves. They are extremely honest and objective about themselves. Very, very honest. They don't sugarcoat anything. They don't emotionally take any decisions, but they're very honest and very objective. Realistic people are non-defensive. They do not feel compelled to explain themselves to people. They don't feel compelled. They don't feel compelled to impress people. Why should you try to impress us that you're from a rich family when you are not? Then you are not realistic to yourself. And there's no way you're going to be sustainable. A lie cannot be in office for long. Right? That's the meaning. Realistic people are never under pressure to impress anybody. They don't try to catch up with the society to prove that they are also in the league. No, they know their reality and they make sustainable decisions from the place of reality so that they can be relevant in the next 10 years. There's one thing I always tell my team, especially my manager, I always tell them, we are building for the long term. We're not going to make decisions now because we want to impress anybody. No. Whatever we do now is based on 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. That is what we are looking at achieving. That's the plan. So if you are here and you are still feeling compelled to tell lies, you are still feeling compelled to defend yourself, to explain yourself, and to impress people, you are not yet living from the place of your reality. And you are going to have challenges building a sustainable future because you'll be forced to keep telling a lie to cover the previous lie. And you make it difficult for people to endorse, recommend, or help you because you are showing what you are not. People start feeling as if you have arrived already. Being realistic is not a weakness. It's a sign of maturity and a sign of sustainable growth. When you are realistic with yourself, you know that you are not perfect, realistic, because you need to know that you're a human being. Yes, it's good to strive for excellence, but it's not good to pretend that you are perfect. Those are two different things. Work hard every day to be excellent. Work hard every day to deliver your best result. Work hard every day to push yourself, but do not pretend to be excellent. Do not pretend to be perfect. Do not pretend to show who you are not. Be authentic, be honest, be realistic, be vulnerable, but yet at the same time, be a human being who is improving on a daily basis. One proof that you are realistic is that you admit your weaknesses and you accept to improve on them. You admit your weaknesses to yourself and you take responsibility to improve. You admit your weaknesses to your mentor, to your coach, and you take responsibility to improve. You admit your weaknesses to your spouse, and you take responsibility to improve. You admit your weaknesses to your boss, to your employees, and you take that self-responsibility to improve. That is somebody who will build a sustainable career and business, both in the long term and in the short term. Because they are building deep, they're not building wide. People that build deep will last long. People that build deep are realistic. People that build wide, they please social media, but on the inside, they are nothing. On the outside, they have nothing sustainable to show for it. When you're realistic, you don't feel guilty when you make mistakes. You don't feel bad when you make mistakes, because you know that you're on a journey, you're on a consistent journey of being excellent and a consistent journey of improving yourself. That is why people who are realistic in their careers and businesses and personal lives understand that any weakness that they find in their life, they have to deal with it. They have to deal with it. They are not supposed to avoid it. They are not supposed to rationalize their weaknesses. They are not supposed to ignore their weaknesses. No, they have to accept the reality. Okay, my weakness is this. This is where I need to start improving if I need to advance in my life, if I need to advance in my business, if I need to advance in my career. I need to accept this and start causing change. You know, one thing about strength and weakness is that the strength that you have right now are what got you to where you are right now, your strength. Also, you are where you are right now because your weaknesses are holding you back. That's one thing funny about life. Yes, your strength contributed to where you are, but your weaknesses also contributed to holding you back and not taking you to where you must have been. For example, for many of you, your strength got you to where you are, but your weaknesses, let's say, so your challenges of not studying, of not taking concrete actions consistently, also got you to where you are right now. Like, so he will say, you wish you were part of PPSC's last year, your life would have been better, right? Or you wish you were waking up 2 hours earlier, waking up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. for the last 2 years, your life would have been better than where it is today. So that's one thing that we need to be conscious about. And that is why the more you conquer your weaknesses and build more strength, the more you're going to conquer more in life. Your strength got you to where you are, and your weaknesses also held you back from where you were supposed to be. That's why the only way to rise double is for you to learn how to conquer your weaknesses, improve on them, turn them into strength so you can conquer more in life. That's why it is said that your weaknesses are the determining speed at which you move ahead in your career. Yes, your current weaknesses right now, if it's too much sleep, if it is not reading books, if it is not doing the right things all the time, if it is procrastination, all these weaknesses are the determining speed at which you move ahead in your career. That's why if there's one thing you need to be worried about and you need to dedicate your life to conquer, is your weaknesses. You need to be very intentional at the level which you conquer this. So the question is, in what areas could your weaknesses be holding you back or limiting your effectiveness in your current situation? Check it out. In what areas could your weaknesses be holding you back? Your weaknesses could be holding you back from your startup. It could be holding you back from your career. It could be holding you back from having a good relationship. There are some people that have left good relationships, not because their partner was bad, but because they themselves, they had terrible weaknesses. So they lost a good partner because of their weaknesses. And then they moved to another partner and the same thing happened. But accept that weakness and start causing change in whatever you do. So in what areas could your weaknesses be holding you back from today? How are your current weaknesses limiting your effectiveness in life, career, and business? Identify them and begin to handle them. Your weakest important skill sets the height at which you can use all your other skills. Yes, your weakest important skill sets the height at which you can use all your other skills. For example, there's that skill that if we are weak in it, it determines the height at which we will use our other skills. Or there is a weakness that determines the height at which you're going to use other skills. For example, procrastination. You know, no matter how talented and skillful you are, no matter how hardworking you are in your spirit, if you don't conquer procrastination, you'll be a very talented person with no results. Procrastination alone has the ability to weaken your any other skill. So you need to identify what is that one weakness in your life that has power over your whole performance and deal with it. It could be the same like too much television or social media. You spend 4 hours, 5 hours on television and social media. That alone has the ability to reduce the strength and the result that your any other skill can perform. So we need to be very conscious about it. What is that weakness that has the ability to weaken any other strength? And deal with that weakness. Stop pampering that weakness. That's why I feel pity for people who pamper procrastination. Because that alone has the power to weaken every other strength that you command, every other skill that you command. That's why you see talented young people, they can produce barely good results because they procrastinate up and down. Talented, nothing to show for. Talented, no result. Talented, no growth. Talented, no career. Talented, no business that makes sense. Because one weakness is holding them back. And they find it difficult to build sustainable effectiveness, both in the short term and in the long term. Start dealing with it before you have issues. Question for you: what are the strengths and weaknesses in your business today? Entrepreneurs, those who run businesses right now, after this session, draw a T table. On the left, write your weaknesses as far as your business is concerned. On the right, write your strength. That is one of the best ways to discover the reality of your business, the current reality of your business. And if possible, ask another person who is to you have a staff, ask them. Many of us are not good at stepping outside and looking at our business and analyzing it. Be honest with yourself. For those who are working your careers, ask that to your careers. What are the strengths and weaknesses in your career today? Even your personal life, ask yourself that question. What are your strengths and weaknesses in your personal life today? Draw a T table. Be very honest about it. Write it down. On the left, write your weaknesses. On the right, write your strength. Be careful if you have more weaknesses than your strength. You're on a danger zone, very big danger. And then have a plan on how you will start working on those weaknesses and converting them into strength and making good use of them. So to develop a better picture of your current reality is for you to ask this question and understand your strengths and weaknesses. Always be willing to face the weaknesses and imperfections in your business. There is no way you're going to advance in life and build sustainable success if you are not willing to face your weaknesses. One of the challenges I've discovered with human beings is that they run away from their weaknesses. Yes, they run away from their weaknesses. They run away from their imperfections. Instead of accepting it and facing these imperfections head on, they run away, they avoid it. And that is how it silently kills their dream. It silently sucks their dream away. So from today, my challenge to you is resolve to do something about your weaknesses. Resolve to do something about your imperfections. Because until you do that, these things will always hold your business and your career. If you are not happy with the way things are, you are not happy with your career, you're not happy with your business, you are not happy with your finances, think about the way you would like them to be, and then get productive at creating the reality you desire. That's it. That's how to rise to the top. It's not about wishing and complaining. No. Think, if you are not happy with the way your finances are right now, if you are not happy with your business right now, if you are not happy with your career, that's what I always tell my team, because Dev Group Limited is still a startup. Although we are where we are, I still consider it a startup because I am always focusing on, we are not yet making 100 million francs in profit every month. That's one of my goals. Get the company we can make 100 million francs in profit every month. So I don't like the current profitability. I don't like it. Although we are 10 years plus, but I don't like it. Although we're making profit in a few millions, but I don't like it. It's not enough. So I need to consistently, we as a team need to consistently get productive at creating the reality we desire. Same for all of you. Look at your career, look at your relationships, look at your jobs, look at your business, look at your startup, look at your finances. If you don't like it, wake up every morning with the intentionality to create the reality you desire. Stop wishing for it. Stop hoping for it. Create it. Take actions and create it. That is why it is good to focus on the future rather than the past. Focus on the solution rather than the problem. Concentrate on where you are going to rather than where you are coming from. That is how to build a sustainable future, both in the short term and the long term. Focus on your future possibilities, not on your past regrets. Focus on the solution based on the reality at hand, not on the problem and murmuring and complaining. Concentrate on where you are going to rather than where you're coming from. That is how you're going to be sustainable and effective in the short term and in the long term. Refuse to allow yourself to get upset about things that have already happened, which cannot be changed. Many of us today, we are upset about things that already happened and there's nothing we can do about it. But that's how you're using your energy and you are angry about it and there is nothing you can do about it. You're wasting your energy. Refuse to allow yourself to get upset about things that have already happened, which cannot be changed. Something that has already happened is a fact. It is a part of reality. Sometimes the only thing you can do about a fact is to control your attitude towards it. Yes. Sometimes the only thing you can do about a fact is to control your emotions about it. It has happened already. And so what? Shut the hell up and begin to create a different reality. Stop complaining. Stop whining. Stop regretting. Oh, I wish I would have. It will not help you in any way. Accept the reality and move forward. The way you react to a situation that cannot change will determine how effective you will be in the long term and in the short term. Write that down. The way you react to a situation you cannot change, the way you react to anything that happens to you, which you cannot change, will determine your effectiveness in the short term and in the long term. Many of us are still held back because we don't know how to react to things that have happened already, and there's nothing we can do about it. We waste our energy in regret about something we cannot change. How will that help you? That's why many people have not achieved sustainable success in the short term and the long term, because they are still holding themselves, they're still attaching themselves to something that has happened, and there is nothing they can do about it. Do you want to be effective? Learn to react to situations you can do nothing about by accepting them and rising towards the challenge and making up your mind to create the reality you desire. Here there's somebody. Never trust on luck and hope that something unexpected will turn up to solve a problem or save a situation. Like, I know that we just allow things to just happen anyhow. Let's see how it's going to be. No, people don't succeed like that. You don't succeed based on luck. You don't succeed by leaving things to chance. You don't succeed by leaving things to luck and hope and chance. No. You succeed when you rise up and take actions to sort out that mess that you are in. Then you're permitted to allow luck and hope to happen. But don't wake up in the morning, do nothing about anything, and you're expecting a beautiful life. It will never happen. You don't take any actions. You are trying to know, let's see how it goes. Let us hope that something good will turn out of it. No, that's not to live life. Do your best first to create the reality you desire. Then you can bring hope in play. As I always say, you're only permitted to hope when you have done the hard work. You're only permitted to pray for a breakthrough when you have done your part as a human being. Never allow yourself to wish, hope, and trust that anyone else will do it for you. Never do that. You will not build sustainable success by doing that. Never, never allow yourself to wish, hope, and trust that someone else will do it for you. You are a leader, you are in charge, you are a disruptor, you are a decision maker, you are the person that is responsible for his or her own life. Nobody is coming to do it for you. Deal with your world as it is. Deal with your situation as it is. Deal with your finances as it is. Deal with your career as it is. Deal with your business as it is, not as you wish it will be. Stop wishing and start dealing with it. Intentionally be consistent and be consistently be intentional. Therefore, from today, my charge to you is identify your weaknesses in terms of your personality, in terms of your skills, in terms of your business. Identify them. What is that weakness in your personality that you have to start changing? Is it anger? Do you quickly give up? Do you quickly blame people? Whatever. Pick it out and start improving on it. What is that important skill in your career that you are still weak at? For example, maybe public speaking is a very important skill. You know that if you were a better public speaker, you would have been better than where you are today, but you are still weak at public speaking. Okay, identify it. Begin to sort that skill out and train yourself to become excellent at it. Identify these weaknesses and make concrete plans to start correcting them. Identify and analyze the realities of your companies. These are entrepreneurs. Identify and analyze the reality of your company, your products, your services, your method of operations as they are today. What are the weaknesses when it comes to your operations? What are the weaknesses when it comes to your products? What are the weaknesses when it comes to your company as a whole? Decide today to take specific action to start sorting out those weaknesses and start maximizing your strength as an entrepreneur. When you do that, that is a sure way to start building a sustainable future in your career and in your business. That is it for today. Let us do a chit chat and then we round up.